What's up, everybody? This is Dahadi Lewis. I am excited. We are doing another day of weekdays with Dahadi, where we talk about everyday issues from a biblical and balanced perspective. I am again on my front porch, my favorite place in the summer. It's going to be interesting how it looks in the fall or in the spring. When it starts raining more here in Atlanta, then also in the winter when it starts, getting cold. So, but this is a new addition for us. It is a great spot. Pretty much have worked here from here throughout the summer, and this is exciting. But today is the day we just finished what we call day one. Day one is an amazing day. So you got my blueprint Hope Hill shirt on. Day one is where we go to the local elementary school, Hope Hill Elementary School, and we sing out to we say the name of every kid who walks through the door, and we just screaming, yelling, celebrating them. And basically we want to let them know, like, we see you, God sees you. Day one, Hope Hill Elementary. It is always a good time because for me, it's kind of like it's like a nostalgic day when we kick off the new year. We've been doing it for about 7 years, every year but COVID year, when they weren't in school. But we've been doing it, and we're naming every kid. It's gotten to the point we've had news people come, school board district people coming out for day one. It has been a time in elementary school that we got it. We celebrate, but it signifies for me a day like change. And that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about change management. And what is that? What do we do? How do we manage through change? How do we manage through seasons? Like, again, here in Georgia, we change. We go to start going to school. They start going to school July 31st, which I think is sin, but they do. So August 1 kicks off for Georgia and specifically APS to like start school. And so today we did day one, and and now school is in. So traffic is going to pick up, things are going to pick up, people are back at work, all of the things happen. And so this is a new season. I sent off 4 out of my 6 kids back to school, and that's, and so it's just like, all right, it's time, it's ready. Took pictures, did all the things, all the stuff, and it's now it's time to do. So I won't be before you long today because I want to just get straight to the point. I want to get straight to the point today. It's like, whenever you go into another season of life, right? Another season in the year, you bring in expectations. That is a fact. No matter if you act like you're low maintenance, not you're high maintenance, low maintenance, medium maintenance, you have expectations, and that is a fact. So a lot of times when, regardless of if you're able to suppress those expectations or not worry about the expectations or not even kind of get your hopes up, but you still have them. We have different ways of dealing with our expectations, but we have expectations. And so I wanted to talk to you about, like, how do we unearth expectations, both within ourselves and expectations within our loved ones, right? Those people that we're ministering to, how do we do that? And it's a simple way to do it. But before I go, let's just talk about a text. The reason why I know that you have expectations and we do different things with our expectations is because of Proverbs chapter 13 and 12. It says, hope delayed makes the heart sick, but desired fulfilled is a tree of life. And so really what the text is telling us is that there is an expectation, and with those expectations you have hope. And if that expectation is not met, whether stated or not stated, you will get sick. It will hinder you, it will hurt you. And so we all have different ways and nuances of how we deal with our expectations. But the opposite of that, it says, but desired fulfilled is the tree of life. So it's not just about not doing something, but part of it is about doing something. Part of it is about how can we help bring life to people. And that's when we're talking about change management, bringing life to people as different seasons come in. And so here's a simple exercise that you can do to bring out expectations both in yourself and with your loved ones. It's this simple. All I want you to do is I want you to find your loved one, and we call it 20 expectations. We've been doing it with premarital, we do it in marital, we do it in counseling, we do it in relationship issues, because oftentimes in relationships are about unmet expectations. It's about the sick heart, right? And so, but sometimes those expectations are not stated. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to talk to someone, right? Whoever you're trying to unearth, or even within yourself, and I want you to write 20 expectations, or have that person write 20 expectations. And oftentimes I'll have each person write down 20 expectations. They're like, well, I don't have expectations. I'm just low maintenance. No, you're not. You do have expectations, right? But I want you to write 20 expectations, and I want you to use this formula. I want to blank so that blank. Right there, what you're doing is you're creating a who, a what, and a why. I I have that expectation. Want to blank. What is the blank that it is? That's the what your expectation is, so that, and here's the reason why, right? And you don't have to put the so that, but the so that is so helpful because it gives the motivation behind our expectations. But when you get to that what section of the expectation, make sure that that what is what we call SMART goals. It's strategic. It's measurable, basically. Make sure that it is measurable. You can't say, I want to love God. That's not enough. I want to spend time in the Word daily for 30 minutes so that I can love God. Usually the big picture is the so that I can spend time with him, right? Or I want you to clean the dishes after every time I cook the meal so that I'm not frustrated, or so that whatever it is, whatever your why is, but that's your why, right? And if you do that, I want to, so that, right? All you got to do is you put your who, your what, and then your why. Here's the other thing that I want you to do. After you do that, I write down my 20, my wife write down her 20. What we'll do is that we'll then switch the paper. We're going to switch paper. I'm going to take her 20. She's going to take my 20. We're not going to go through them together. We're just going to read the 20. And what I want you to do, and this is where the magic comes. After you do it, I'm going to write down on the right side of the column of the piece of paper, and I'm going to write 1 or 3 letters. I'm going to write a C for cinch, an S for sweat, and an N for no. I can't do that. All right. N for C for cinch, S for sweat, and an N for no. I can't do that. Cinch simply means yes. Yeah, that's an expectation. I got you. I can do that. Thanks for letting me know. Sweat is I can do it, but that's not in my natural DNA. But so it's going to take me some discipline from me to do it. I'm willing to do it. I want to do it, but it's going to take some discipline. And N is I just think that's unrealistic. I cannot wash your feet 4 times a day, every day. I can't do that. I'm sorry. It's just not realistic, right? If you do this, if you go and you state clear expectations, I want or I want blank so that blank. If you write clear expectations and those are measurable expectations that it's either pass or fail, and then you switch that, and then if you write down C, S, or N, by if whoever you got those expectations for, you will be able to unearth expectations both in yourself and in your spouse, and you get a chance to do it. Now, after you start, then you go back, and this is the third step. You go back, and then you now say, hey, cinch, you said cinch. And then you're able to talk, and you're able to make observations, not accusations. You never do that. That was stupid because you say one thing. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because as soon as you do that, the person gets defensive. But because oftentimes like another way is somebody will go through and say cinch all the way through, and it's like, that's interesting. You say cinch, but it's not the way things are. And so a lot of times when I go through this with someone, I'll say, are there any that's catch you off guard that they say cinch, but you feel like it's either a sweat or an N, right? Because of behavior, and then it's just a communication piece to unearth expectations. And then from that, you'll be able to create a plan. All right, that's it. I mean, today is short. I really think if you do that 3-step process, you will be able to unearth expectations both in yourself and in your loved one. And then you'll be able to live, in a way that is bringing you life, right? Again, because hope delayed makes the heart sick. Many of us have delayed hope, and this is the reason why so many of us are struggling because we're not communicating, and we're not meeting, our needs are not being met. So, 3 steps, real simple. Number one, write your expectations down clearly using the formula I want to blank so that blank. The who, the what, the why. The second thing is you then write, so you write down 20 expectations. That's the first one using that formula. The second one is that you then pass it to the person that you have those expectations for. After you pass those expectations to one another, they write C, S, or N, cinch, sweat, or no. All right. And then the third step, you talk about those expectations and then you write a plan, right? You write a plan. But when you talk about the expectations, you use observations, not accusations. And then you all, because these are not demand, they're expectations. And then at the end, what you're going to do is you can then devise a plan to talk about how we can basically meet those expectations. All right. Make comments. Let me know content, what you like. That's what I got for you. Love you guys. Peace.